to my kitchen. If you are new here, I am Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. To all my returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you, thank you. It means the world to me. But if you haven't yet, could you please just touch that little subscribe button? I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome everybody. I'm just kidding. I'm having one of those days. I just feel goofy. All right, so what are we doing? We are doing a series on inexpensive meals. I live on a very fixed income, and when certain things pop up that I haven't pre-planned for, I don't have enough money. So when times are not so, plentiful in the money department, when my money's running short, I pull out certain recipes that I know I have. I also eat them just because I want to. But these are certain recipes I have that I know I can use if I don't have enough money. And for me, a reasonable, lowercase meal, inexpensive, not cheap, because at minimum, I'm a family of 6. So $10 for a meal, for me that's a lot, but $10 and under are inexpensive meals. So I came up with about 9 meals that I do that are under $10. Today's is $5 and, I forgot, I wrote it down, $4.72, but that's the meat and some rice, and I put it aside for broccoli, which brought me up to $5.70 for the entire meal. It's gonna feed all 6 of us. So let me get over there, let me stop bumping my gums, stop begging for subscribers, and show you how I make this. So let's get it, let's go, let's see if the pots, come on. All right, everything you see here is the complete meal, except for a couple of spices. But this is what you're going to need to get started. I have a big pack of chicken thighs back here. It's 3.5 pounds, $3.52. I have some broccoli for 98 cents, and the rice I think was 92 cents, if I'm not mistaken. And that's really all I had to purchase. Everything else, and the pineapple was $1.28. Everything else I already have. So you're gonna need some brown sugar, you're gonna need chicken to start with, some brown sugar, pineapple, olive oil, soy sauce, honey, cornstarch, tomato, it calls for tomato paste. I just use ketchup. You could use ketchup. I use it a lot. Some rice and the broccoli. Let me show you what spices you're going to need. Okay, so you don't really need all these spices. When I tell you I made this with just salt and pepper and it came out great, it's fine because the sauce that goes over it has so much flavor that you really don't taste all the seasoning. I just like to do it because we're cooking and I like to do it right. So for the chicken, I'm just going to use some seasoned salt rather than table salt, some pepper, paprika, a little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder. You could also add to this recipe some peppers and onions, but I don't really see the necessity. You can get, at Dollar Tree, you can get a bag of frozen for $1.25, so you don't have to buy a pepper and an onion and all that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna do it without. I've done it with, I've done it without. It's really the same thing. Let's talk about my choice of chicken. Why did I buy thighs bone-in? Well, 2 reasons. Initially, I was gonna do it as a bake in the oven, and I like the bone-in. But then I started thinking about it, and I wanna make it quick and easy, so I'm gonna do it without the bone. It is also much cheaper to buy per pound with the bone in. And deboning chicken, it's really not that big a deal. I showed it to you in another video. I might show you real quick how to debone that, but you can take the bone out and do what I'm doing, brown it up in the pan and just leave it. But I'm gonna dice it up and do it in the frying pan. So you could do it either way. Leave it whole and put it in the oven or debone it and chop it up and do it the way I'm doing. It adds a little bit of work, but it saves you some money. Let's debone that chicken. So I can take it off. First thing you gotta do is we're going to be getting rid of the skin as well because I'm not using the skin in this recipe. But like I said earlier, my kids I heat it up in the air fryer and they eat the skin like that. So I don't waste it. But you do need a good sharp knife. Okay, so you turn it over, you find the bone in there. I usually just carve it down just like that, just a little bit. You stick your knife under, but not through, the chicken, and you come up. Cut away any connective tissue. And then just use your hands to finesse it the rest of the way down. We're almost done. Trying to show you how to do it in one piece and not in two pieces because that's the way I learned. I learned how to do this with the bone, leg, and the thigh. The first time I did it. It was so hard, but I got it after that. So just all the connective tissue you're cutting away until you get it all the way out. Because it's already a part of it. I'm just cutting off these ends. And please, if you've heard nothing I said today, please use a sharp knife. But there you go. That's that. And then you end up with a piece that looks like that. All done. I'm going to take that piece right there out, but all done. Alrighty, we're all done. Now let me tell you, this might look like a big old mess, but to me it looks like multiple meals. Because this right here is just the fat that I took off of the, those little like hard pieces in the end. That's all that is. The bones over here, all these bones, is food. Because you can make a broth out of that. The skin, this big pile of skin I have here, the kids eat that for a snack. So really, all that's going to waste, or not being used, of this chicken now is this handful of fat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up the area, get some clean gloves on just to get them dirty again, and we're going to dice up this chicken. All right, so I left some fat on it intentionally. I did not completely take everything off because I want some of it, to cook for flavor. Now, you could leave these whole. Like, you could have avoided all of this if you bought boneless, skinless, but I wanted to pay less, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to cook it in the oven or cook it out of the oven. So there you go. So what I'm going to do with this, and I prefer the thighs because they're juicier. It's not as dry as white meat. I've made it with white meat, but I prefer it with the dark meat. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut your chicken down into 1 to 2 inch pieces. Whatever size bite you want, that's what you're going to cook. So if you got little kids, you might want to cut it smaller. If you got grown people, you might want to leave it whole, but it all works. So we're just gonna chunk this up. Hold on a second. All right, I went over there to get my handy dandy kitchen scissors, because you could do this too. Boom, cut them up. And you don't have to sit here and try and slice everything. I just cut right through it, just like that. All right, so let me cut that all up, and I'll be back and show you what she looks like. Alrighty, so we're coming down the home stretch here. I cut up all the chicken. What I'm going to do is I wash my meat. I know there's a lot of controversy over you wash or you don't wash, but I do. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to clean it up, and then we're going to start getting ready to start cooking all this chicken. Alrighty, we're all chopped up. Let's move on over to the stove. Before we do that, I am cooking the rice. I'm not going to show you that because it's just water with rice. So I am cooking that on the side. Since we're having sweet stuff on top, I'm just going to do a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, and that's it. Alrighty, so I'm warming my pan. I'm going to add just enough oil to cook the chicken. Maybe a tablespoon or so. I didn't season my chicken because it's in the bowl right now. I'm going to season it as it goes in the pan. I'm so hungry, y'all. I'm over here, look. I'm eating a pickle. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to let that pan come to temp. Let's put one in there, see what it's doing. One or two pieces, that's still stuck together. Okay, so we can start putting that in there. It's got enough. I don't want it searing hot, but I do want it good and hot. Some people add cornstarch to their chicken before they brown it. I'm not going to do that. Some people do, some people don't. To this chicken that we're going to brown up in this pan, this is all going to be to taste. So I'm going to add some onion powder. Just a nice sprinkling. Some garlic powder. Some pepper. Woo! That came shooting out of there, huh? Some paprika. A big old pinch of pepper. And salt. But I'm going to use Lowry's seasoned salt. Couple pieces over there got missed. And we're just going to cook that. See a piece I didn't cut very well. Until it's mostly done. That's going to take me a good 5 minutes maybe. So let me get that going. Let me get that browning. And I'll come back and show you. Alrighty. So that's all browned up. I'm just going to remove this out of the pan so we can get any of the fat out of there and start on the sauce. This is a really, really quick recipe. Let me move that into the bowl. Alrighty, so we're going to use that same pan because there's flavor in that pan. It's not dirty. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to throw a little bit of garlic in here. This part you could take or leave. You don't have to do it. I'm going to take it. And a squirt of ginger. I rarely use ginger, but today I'm going to use it. And just a little squirt of this ginger. We've got to move that around the pan till it gets a little pungent. Get that flavor in there. Flavor, flavor. Not quite. I don't smell it. Oh, there it goes. I smell it. Yep, got it. To this pan, we're going to start building our sauce. I'm going to turn it way down because I'm going to be adding a lot of things. I'm going to be saying one thing and adding another because I had a little more chicken than what this recipe calls for. So, and we like extra sauce to go over our rice. So I always make way more than we need. Half a cup of soy, but that's a full cup. Calls for half a cup of brown sugar. I doubled that. Calls for a quarter cup of honey. I doubled that. I've done this while the chicken was in the pan as well. I think sometimes it's just easier to take it out when you're working with a lot. 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. That's 1/4 cup. That's a 1/2 cup. Now, typically, I would just dump the pineapple juice in there. I kept a little bit reserved just in case I have to make a little bit. Oop, there was pineapple there. Just in case I have to make just a skosh more. Calls for a tablespoon of ketchup or tomato paste. Oh, just splashed it all over myself. Right on my white shirt, too. We're going to give that a mix. And we're going to bring that to a simmer, and I'm going to put the chicken back in here and the pineapple chunks. I'm going to add the chicken back to the pan. Turn that up a little bit just to get it to bring it to a boil real quick. I haven't added the cornstarch. I'm going to add that at the very end. Now, I did cut these pineapples. I'm hoping I cut them well enough because I just stuck a knife down and went around and slice, slice, slice. So, all right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take about maybe a tablespoon or 2 of cornstarch, and I'm going to add it to a little bit of cold water. My rice is done. The broccoli, all I did was cook it in the microwave, salt, pepper, and some butter. Alrighty, I tasted a little bit of this juice to see if it needed anything, and doubling the honey makes it more of a honey taste to it. So I would dial that back if you don't like a strong honey flavor. It's not strong, I can taste it, but once it cooks down, it may be different. All right, so I mixed up a spoonful and a half of some cornstarch, equal parts cornstarch and water. And we're going to add that into the liquid and see how well that does with thickening things up. So just going to let that simmer and thicken. Alrighty, we are done. Now, if you like yours real thick and gooey, keep going. We like ours with pourable gravy on it, so that's where I stop. Right here, it's nice and thick, and as it stands, it's gonna get thicker. So you don't wanna make it too thick. Now you could have put like peppers and onions and stuff. This is the down and dirty weeknight version up. So let me plate that up. And there's my plate. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna meet you at the table. They're all waiting and ready.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Eric is eagerly anticipating. Aiden said, yes, broccoli. I love my kids loving their vegetables. Let's just go right for it. Get a piece of pineapple. There's pineapple right there. Get a piece of chicken and some rice. Got it? All right, now I can lean back in. And you got a little bit of that juice. That juice. Ready? Go. Oh, that's so good. Eric ain't saying a word.
It's so good.
Yeah. That's yummy. around $5, you can't beat this with a stick, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I think I said it was with the broccoli, the rice, everything was $5.72. I want to say. I might be wrong, but something like that for 6 of us to eat. All right. Well, Yaya and Tyler want to eat on camera. Woo woo! They're starting to come around. So let me get them over here and let me get out of here. And I'll see you at the wrap up. Bye-bye. We're back. I'm still eating mine. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Tyler. It's just yummy. I got all my broccoli down already. Yeah? Mm-hmm. It is good. It's really good.
The flavors combined is so good.
Absolutely delicious.
Delicious, he said. All right. Well, the only one who hasn't eaten yet is Trey, and he's on his way home from work this time, so his plate's over there sitting there waiting for him. So, I'll see you at the wrap-up. Bye-bye.